it certainly is nice to see you back. Obviously, you like this channel, you've come back for more. If this is the first time you've come to this channel, then please don't forget to subscribe to get more videos like these. Obviously, it's not going to come up straight away in your feed, but you know, I'm going to try and make videos as often as possible, usually once a week. This is a video about the RG350. So what's to start with? Should we start with the RG350? RG350. It's a bit of a word thingy, but a wordplay. Anyway, RG350. No, that's not it. This is a remotely resembles a PSP, and it does play emulator games, but this is not the one. This is not the thing. So let's go for something that is going to be the actual console, the RG350, and there we have it in its box. And what we're going to do, we're going to open the box and we're going to see what's inside. Now this is the RG350. It's made by the company ANBERNIC, but actually looking at some research that I've done, it appears that it's some Tony G that was actually the inventor or the designer of this. Anyway, the RG350 was a prototype, that then the prototype resembled exactly this console, and it stayed the same, and then it was released. This was released last year in 2019. If you're watching this obviously later, then yeah, it was released in 2019. So in the box we have, well, first of all, let's have a look at the box. There's some writing in here. I do have to point out that actually I have had this console now for some time. I've had it for about a year, in fact, and I have played with it. I had to test it. Obviously, the unboxing is for unboxing purposes only. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is the first time I'm opening this. But, you know, I've had to play on it to make sure that I knew what I was talking about. I still don't, but still, this is the product. The RG350, the box, it shows you on the side what it looks like and what it looks like underneath, which is, yeah, spot on. On the side here, it tells you what color I picked. Oh wow, spoiler alert, it's grey. Yeah, it's going to be grey. And then we've got on the side, it tells you what buttons there are, which yeah, as you can imagine, it's got the standard buttons as you would on on a normal controller, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or any other controller that exists. It gives you those buttons. There is, however, a couple of buttons missing. It's going to be the joysticks that don't actually click, so it's missing the L3 and R3. Doesn't matter, most games don't play it, don't use them. And on the side it tells you what the specs are, which in fact yep, that's the specs. 3.5 inch 320 by 240 4:3 ratio IPS display. Not too bad. I was expecting a better resolution, but to be honest, it's not too bad. Now the processor is JZ4770, which it's an improvement over last year's processor, which was actually on the RG350, which was the 4760. Now it's not a great improvement, but it's still a 1 GHz processor, and it's helped out by the 512 meg of DDR2 memory. I would have hoped for a bit more, because to be honest, you'll see what I mean. When you're loading games, there is a slight amount of choppiness, but not extreme. It's got a built-in 16 gig TF card. That is for the firmware inside. There's also an expandable slot on underneath, which is where you would put the games. And then it's got yeah, stereo speakers and headphone output, as you expect on pretty much anything. And it's got a 2,500 milliamp hour battery with a 6-hour battery life, it says here, with a support of TF cards up to 64 gig. In fact, I think I've got a 64 gig in there to show this out. Now I do have to point out that it says 2,500 milliamp hours there. It does say 2,500 in most what's it called, most websites. However, I did find a few that mention that the battery is actually 2,200 milliamp hours. Yeah, we're probably going to open this up later. Hopefully the video it won't last too long, as my last one was 40 odd minutes, but we'll see. In addition to this, I had actually purchased a case for it, and there is I bought this from AliExpress, so there was a bundle that came with a case which has like space for, well, obviously not games, because the games are on a TF card, but whatever it is, maybe the cable, charging cable, and the console goes underneath here. So that's something. It's not really an unboxing, but whatever. Yeah, it came like this, with this piece of foam that protected the joysticks, and then the actual console inside the wrap. I put it back in here to show you the unboxing. I'm going to point that out again, but this is what it is. This is the console. Put that to the side a second, and then we've got this tray which comes out, and I never touched any of the stuff inside because, well, you get a cable and a piece of like little leaflet. The cable is just a standard USB Type C. It doesn't have anything fancy about it. It's no special connector. It's just USB Type C. I'm assuming this will work as normal. I do have a charger after. I will actually test out the cable, but that's another thing. Okay, let's put all this stuff back here because we're going to put this to the side now, as I will have a look at the leaflet. Now, already I'm looking at it, and it looks like it's I'm assuming it's Japanese, I suppose Chinese. I don't know either languages, so I don't know how to read it. Yeah, this is not going to be any good to me, but more than likely it's going to be another language underneath. It's in English. So yeah, that's the user manual. It tells you the safety use, notice for headphone usage, power usage, main functions. Then it's got accessory package, which tells you it's charging cable and user manual, and that's it. So that's not really accessory package. And then it's got the side views, the basic operation, whether it's switch it on or switch it off, the front of it, and then we've got over here the how to set the speaker volume, how to install the drivers for when you connected it to the computer. In fact, how to connect to a computer. Browsing the files inside the device. There's actually a file browser, which is not bad at all, actually, really good. If you are transferring files from like a USB to that, and then I will show you how to do that. Then obviously they're used for TF cards, well, how to plug it in, and the standard specification that I just pointed out. And that's it. The console. Well, the console is this one. It's not a bad device, not a bad looking device. It's actually very, very nice. There was a new version of this that was released last month, and it was the aluminium version. I didn't buy that. Obviously, I bought this before, and I was supposed to be making a video, but I wanted to try it and play on it and see what it was like. So I didn't. But there is a new version, which is aluminium. The joysticks have moved down. The volume rockers have swapped places as well. I think the joysticks are slightly better, although these are very nice. I do have to admit that I quite like these joysticks. And I think there's some slight changes, but not extreme. Like I was pointing out earlier, this by this ANBERNIC, what is called ANBERNIC RG350, it's a bit of a oddity because this was based on the GCW0, which is another sort of retro gaming console. And then obviously this was released to the public, available for everyone to buy, as opposed to building your own or whatever it is the other forum-based retro gaming consoles were on there. But yeah, it's based on the same on the same as the GCW0, which is same processor, and I think it had the same amount of RAM. But obviously, as I said, it's better than the previous model, which was the RG300, and the RG300 had a slower processor and a slight anomaly, obviously, on playing games. Now, I do have to point out as well, this plays PS1 games, which is really good, and they play very well. So let's power this thing up. Right, so when you power the device up, you get greeted with this menu. I've noticed that it always goes back to applications. I'm going to try again. I'll switch it off on emulators and see what happens. But I'm sure that it always powers on the emulator page. I can see myself. Hello. So yeah, this is based on Open Dingus. Yeah, as you can see, it always goes back to applications. It has some applications which, obviously, looking at it, you've got clock, you've got the Dingus Commander, you've got Explorer, which is the file browser I was on about. So if you go in, you can see you've got your SD card and data, and you can go back out. Well, obviously this, and you can exit the file browser. Then you've got your terminal, which it's terminal. Just O2XIV. I don't know if anyone remembers ACDC, ACDSEE application. It's not ACDC the voltage or ACDC as in the band. I'm talking about ACDC the viewing thing, viewing imager, and yeah, it had the same logo. But yes, it's a simple image viewer, and it literally is that you browse for the pictures that you want to view, and that's it. But it's nothing else apart from that. And clicking select should come out. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it's X, I think. Oh, well, some of these applications you can't come out from the actual menu. You have to click the reset button. So you click the reset button and it restarts, and it comes out of here. Now there is some applications do have the ability to come out without that, but in this case it doesn't. Then there's this is another, it's a media player, FF Play. Then there's another media player with subtitles, a music player, hardware tester, an input tester, second input tester. Then there's another music player, and that's it. That's in the applications. This is as it was. I've not changed anything. I've not added any applications or any ROMs. Well, I've added some ROMs, I think, but I have not changed any application, installed any applications at this point, and I've only played what was on it. So in the emulators, well, before we go to the emulators, let's have a look in the settings. You've got your about, you've got your menu options. There is a network ability of this, but to do that you have to connect a USB type C to I think it's AR actually is on this one. It's a USB type C to a USB, so that then you can connect a wireless adapter or a network adapter, which having said that, if you do have a network adapter that is USB Type-C directly, then you don't have to have the adapter. Then you've got your power off function, which is instead of holding down the power button, you can press that. Then you've got your reboot, which is the same as the reset. Then you've got your skins, you can change your skins, your sound mixer, system info, you've got some wallpapers, and that's it. So then there's some built-in games, these are based on the Open Dingus games, so these run directly off here, no emulators required. You got Apricot, Astra Landa, sorry, Biniacs, Block Rage, Cave Story, Dingsmolo, or whatever it's called. There's a free Doom version, which, as you know, everything has to run Doom to be able to exist. Griffin Legend, Oculus Family, and then there's Carf, FOC, Minesweeper, Open BOR, Open Sonic, Open Tyran, or Tyran, Powder, Puzzle Tube, Saw, Same Goo, Snowman, Spout, Spring Rolled. So yeah, I haven't even played half of these. And yeah, so you've got you've actually got a Zelda version, which is it's playable. It's playable, but this is not what we want to looking at. We're looking at the emulators. Now the basic emulators that were actually released in this, so when this was sold, this was what was in the box. You got MAME version 1.3, but I think if I'm not mistaken, there was a second MAME here. Yeah, there it is, a second MAME down there. So you got MAME, you've got DOSBox, you've got FBA, which is, I can't remember what FBA was now. Oh yes, so yeah, it's the arcade games. So yeah, you've got remember these now, which is not bad at all. So we'll go for for example, Metal Slug. Yeah, that one there. Yeah, wrong game. Let's put some volume. You add the credits with select. Well, you may generally do. Let's start. Yeah, let's go for... As you can tell, it's really, really good. It's actually really, really good. I really enjoy this game. It's actually really good, but I can't be counting on playing this game. So as you can tell, what's going to happen is if I hold these downs, it doesn't do anything, but apart from give you like the cheat database, and then there's a soft reboot. So this is to come out of the game, or you can press the reset button. So we do the soft reset, and as you can tell, it comes back out. Oh no, it resets the game, doesn't it? Yeah, no, this is it. Reset. That comes out of the actual game, and then comes back into the device. So yeah, so we've got that one. Then we've got a NES emulator. We've got a Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color. We've got Genesis or Master System, not Master System, Mega Drive. I mean. Then we've got Oswan, which I still have to understand what platform that is on. Then you've got the PCSX for all, which is the PlayStation. Then you've got Race, you've got SNES, you've got Pico Drive, which is again another Genesis or Mega Drive emulator. I think that one was just Mega Drive. This one runs both. Then you've got Game Boy Advance emulator, and then there's a PC Engine, which is called Tempa. Neo Geo, and then again another MAME emulator. So if we go for, I think, oh, this one was another Neo Geo emulator actually, yeah, but that one there, and that one Wonder Swan emulator. See, I don't know what a Wonder Swan is. I'll have to research that, but if any of you know, just please write it down in the comment section, because I really don't. So yeah, so the one I want to look at, and I'm sure that everyone does, is how it runs the PlayStation games. As you can see, I was actually playing Gran Turismo the last. There's quite a few PlayStation games already loaded. You've got Bomberman, you've got Millennium Fighter 2000, Clone Wars, Command and Conquer, Digimon. You've got Dino Crisis 2, Disney Tarzan, Driver 2, Fighting Force, Final Fantasy 9. You got Gran Turismo, Harry Potter, Superhero as well, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, Medal of Honor Underground, which actually plays okay on here. Mega Man, Tenchu, amazing game. And the King of Fighters 99. You got Tomb Raider 2, Tomb Raider 1. You got Bio 2, Crash Bandicoot, and you got Crash Bash. Dragon Ball GT, Grand Theft Auto 2, Iron Fist 3, and Ispro Soccer, which is a football game. So obviously I'm going to show you Gran Turismo because, well, why not? I love this game on here. It's actually surprisingly playable. It's very small, and it is really, really playable. I have a Sony Xperia Play, which plays PlayStation 1 games as well, but it's not as good. That one is very, very choppy. It's got a lot of sort of screen tear constantly. It's very difficult, and sometimes the audio is faster than the video. The AV sync is out. So let's start here. So yeah, go for arcade mode or simulation mode. I should have gone for arcade mode. Yeah, this is where I'm currently at, and yeah, I need to. I think I got. No, I need to do the license. No, I haven't. It's because I haven't loaded. Yeah, remember when you in PlayStations you had to always load the game. You can't just play the game. You first have to load it. Yeah, there you go. See, that's me now. My cars. Yeah, because I'm sure that I actually did get, yeah, I did get the A license. What am I doing? Why did I do that for? I've gone inside the game. Yeah, well, I'll show you on this one. So the joysticks don't work. You have to use this. I have tried in many ways to get the DualShock to work, but it doesn't. But then again, with the D-pad, it's much easier, much nicer. I mean, you can see that it's actually really, really good. It responds very well. And I'm gonna fail this one, am I? No, maybe. So it responds very well. It's very, very playable. It's not a bad game at all. And I failed. Yeah. Oh well, never mind. It doesn't matter. I passed anyway on this one. But as you can tell, it's actually really, really playable. The graphics is very good. There's no screen tear. There's nothing like that. Now, however, I do want to show you one last game, and it's going to be Super Mario on the NES, because to my likings, it doesn't run very well. If I run this, oh, see, no, that's not work. Yeah, it does work, but it's like it's got some sort of a delay when you press the buttons, so it carries on, but it's not like the. It's very, very difficult. It's extremely difficult because it's like the audio runs slightly before the gameplay, so there's not much. It's not very responsive as you would expect. It's very, very I don't know how to explain it. It's not responsive as such. It's there's a delay on the entire game. I'm assuming that it's something to do with the emulator. Perhaps there's a settings. There's a setting in there that can be changed. But if I go into the Game Boy, let's go Game Boy Color, Game Boy Color Classics, and let's try this one. I mean, this is Super Mario Deluxe. This is much better. This it's actually very, very playable, and it's the same game. I mean, it's obviously the as you can tell, the graphics is not the same as the NES, but it's very playable. There's no it's very responsive. The problem is on the other one. It's the emulation is not very good. Although this one, yeah, you can go back. I remember that. It was amazing. Yeah. Let's see if I can press both buttons to get the flag. Ah. So the idea is you press B and then you launch. Yeah, see, it works very well, very, very well. Everything works fine on here. This game runs very well. The emulation of the Game Boy Color is spot on. It's a shame that on the NES the emulation is not very good. Of course, the same games are available on the same sort of platforms, but not as detailed. Although the detail of the NES, it wasn't extremely good. But yeah, so this is this console, and I will be doing a second video of this to show that we can enable, in fact, this port. Because at this moment in time, if we go into the settings, and we should be able to go into, I think it's in, where was the settings? Yeah, in the settings, we should be able to add an option down here, which is to enable the HDMI port, the HDMI out. Because at this moment in time, there is an HDMI port that does not work. It doesn't work. There's nothing to do. It actually doesn't work. So the idea is that we can enable this. So I'm going to switch this off, and I'm going to put this to the side. This is not going to be, obviously, this is the review of this device is finished, and I will be making a second video. Just for the sake of it, I want to try, before we go, to see whether this console can in fact work with an external keyboard, because there is people that claim that an external keyboard such as this one can actually work on the RG350. Obviously it won't be enough to have touched the keyboard. You'll need you obviously need all of the adapters to make it work. And I did have the oh, there it is. So I have the adapter here, which is the adapter from USB Type-C to USB-A. And the idea is that we plug this in, and it's got to be in the USB 1, because the USB 2 is to charge it. And we grab the adapter and we place it into the slot. So now, if we switch this on and place it there, and we switch the keyboard on, the idea is that we can use it, and in fact we can. I don't think the mouse will work. No, the mouse won't work, but the keyboard does. So the idea is that because this runs on OpenDingus, which is Linux based. In fact, even any newer device that runs on a Linux kernel, it will work with this. So there is certain buttons that you should be able to switch with. I can't remember which ones they are. Yeah, so tab switches between the screens here. So if we go back to emulators and we go back to the Game Boy Color, that wasn't a Game Boy Color, was it? No. Well, that's very odd. So apparently pressing enter will go to the last thing I opened, which is not very good. But yeah, we know that the keyboard does work, so I'm assuming there's some sort of mapping to be done. But yeah, so that works. That's good. Well, we'll switch that off then, because, well, we know that that works now. So, and that disconnects. The second thing I wanted to do was just to see, for anyone that is interested in knowing what how much it charges at, I have a USB meter. So this tells you the current voltage and the wattage and how many amps, because USB Type-C is supposed to charge slightly faster. Then again, this is a standard USB 2.0 cable. It's not USB 3, it's not USB 3.1. It doesn't do anything special. It's just data transfer and charge, and you can see that the cable inside there is just a standard USB 2. But if we plug this USB 2 cable into here, we should be able to see how much charge it actually takes. So if we plug that into here, you can see that the LED has gone to red, so that means that it's charging, and it's currently charging at, well, it's actually not bad, 0.8 amps. So it charges at roughly 4.2 watts or 4.3 watts, which is not bad, because on the best case scenario, this can pull 1 amp at 5 volts. So for anyone who's out there that wants to do the maps calculations, obviously there's the losses from the DC to DC converter, the charging circuit, or anything like that. But roughly, well, actually that's gone, yeah, sort of fluctuating. But then again, this is kind of charged anyway, so it's not really going to make much of a difference. But there you go, that's the display. Having said that, these meters are amazing. They actually are amazing. And oops, that's it. So let's disconnect that. Let's disconnect this, and that's it. So that's the RG350. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, subscribe again, then leave another comment, press like. Down here there's like a like button, you can press that. If you don't like it, you can press the dislike button. I mean, I understand that it's not very good for me, but then again, press whichever you think that is the best. Then if there's anything I missed, if there's anything I've done, just write it in the comments. If you want to subscribe, press here. If you want to watch another video, press there. And down here I have a playlist with all of my reviews, so there may be some gaming reviews, some everything else. So yeah, that's it. There you go. So This is the Techno Reviewer. I'm logging out. Have a good day.